Okay, hi there. My name is Rob St. John. I'm the founder and CEO of the Parks and River Real Estate Solutions team. And I want to take just a few minutes and walk you through some of the things that we do, some of the highlights of our no risk home selling program. It offers a few different options for you to sell your property. We offer obviously a retail marketing solution as well as a fast sale cash offer solution. So let's just kind of walk through a few things that you'll find probably most likely find appealing when working with myself and my team. So first, let's talk about ultimately our mission as a real estate consultant team. It's not simply to help people buy and sell property. Our mission is to provide an experience that's so incredibly positive that you feel confident that you've actually secured a real estate consultant that you can trust for life, for anything to do with buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Our goal is to create raving fans, not just people who are willing to refer us if asked, but people who when they hear a couple of colleagues talking about the possibility of making some sort of move inside the real estate space, they feel compelled and obligated to interrupt that conversation to make sure that those people know we exist and that they reach out and connect with us. That's the kind of experience we want to create that causes you to feel excited about doing that. So a little bit about myself. I'm a resident here in St. Matthews. We've been here for gosh, just over 10 years now, closer to 12 years now, actually. Now that I think about it, here in 2021, been married to my wife Sarah since 2011. We have a daughter by the name of Claire. As of today, she is a very spunky 6-year-old little girl. We also have our two goofy four-legged family members. Della is the boxer Shar-Pei mix, and Zora is the very unimpressed French bulldog that you see here in the picture. As for myself, I do a lot of reading, work on myself, and constantly improving myself in every possible way, to include staying in shape and consistently eating healthy and just making sure I am physically capable to serve the needs of my clients at any point in time to the best degree possible. Uh, I truly believe I'm extremely lucky to be doing what I'm doing as a real estate consultant. I truly do what I love. It's not just a matter of enjoying the real estate transactions, but it's the people and the relationships that I get to work with and create and build on that gets me excited to do my job and jump out of bed every single day. All right, so let's talk about a few guarantees made by myself and my team. For starters, our 1 day listing guarantee. Now, in essence, what this says is that I personally have a problem with and do not believe in long term handcuff type contracts. So, basically, once your property has been actively listed on our local MLS, we've done our thing, gotten the photos done, and we've gone through our listing launch period. If you are unhappy or unsatisfied with what is going on with that process, we put in writing that, you know what, fire us, cancel your agreement, and list with another real estate company or real estate agent at any point in time. I again believe in operating from a place of being accountable to you as the client who has tasked us with selling your property, and I take that very very seriously. So we do offer a 1 day listing guarantee. I also offer a sold or I buy it guarantee. In essence, what this says is when you list with us and choose this program, we will bring to you a cash offer for your home within 72 hours. You're not obligated to do anything with this offer except that just know it exists. Now, in complete transparency, most cases that cash offer is going to be less than what the retail market would bear for the home, but that's part of kind of the process. It does provide you with an option that allows you to comfortably search for your next home, or start working on your new build, whatever it is whatever that next move is for you. Basically, we offer two options. There's an immediate buyout with an optional rent back, meaning you can actually close on the sale of your home and continue to rent the property back from us so that you're not having to write an offer that's contingent to the sale of a property, which in a strong market like we're in, oftentimes weakens your negotiating stance. We also offer an option to list your home on the market with us and try to obtain a top dollar offer. And if we're not able to get an accepted offer on your home within, say, 90 days, we will guarantee to buy it at a predetermined purchase price and terms. So we'll go through all of that up front with you. There's no surprises to any of it. It's all outlined prior to you making a decision. Now, there's some obvious benefits to going this route. This gives you maximum flexibility when you're searching for your new home. You're able to close on the sale of your existing home months ahead of your new build being completed if you're going the route of new construction, which obviously makes the whole transition to a new home much, much smoother. You don't end up with those double moves of moving into like a temporary space, whether it be an apartment rental or something to that effect. So it does create some autonomy and some ability to just live your life a little bit more stress-free. Obviously, minimal showings and inconvenience while you're actually selling your home. There's no need to qualify for multiple mortgages. You're not going to have to worry about carrying two mortgages or some sort of bridge loan or anything like that. And in most cases, we're able to purchase your property as is, as a cash offer, minimal risk of buyer fallout. And it really makes basically our aim, it adds to our overall mission, which is to make the transition to your next home much smoother and much less of a hassle. Now, under this option, if we do make the purchase of your property, it's important for you to know that we're going to close on that sale in one of three ways. Either my company, my team are going to hang on to the property until after you move out. We will make any necessary repairs and updates and then sell the home again for a small profit. We may close on the home ourselves and maintain it as a rental property. Or the third option is that we may find after looking at the whole deal that it's a better fit for one of our investment partners, in which case they will step into our shoes at the closing table and basically just step in and close on the property themselves and use it for whatever their end use is. Now, no matter how we actually choose to close on the sale, on the purchase of your home, there will be absolutely no changes to what you and I agree to as far as what you will receive. You will receive at closing the exact amount to which we agree. So I think it's important to just point that out and that you're aware of that. Okay, so next guarantee is our communication guarantee. And in doing this for nearly a decade now, one thing that I have learned is the biggest complaint consumers have about real estate agents throughout the process of buying, selling, or investing in real estate is a lack of communication. This will absolutely not be the case with myself and my team. You will receive a weekly phone call from both your Parks and River listing agent, whether it's myself or another agent on my team, as well as our administrative professionals. So you'll hear from two people every single week, at least once a week, probably more if as we get closer to like working offers and things like that. We receive notification and keep a running list of every single agent that's shown your home and access the lockbox on your door. And through our showing time system, you'll have the option to confirm every single showing yourself and decide how much notice you require before any showing. In addition, our showing time system also makes multiple requests to get feedback from agents on their buyer's response and what they felt about your property. It gives us it's very helpful when we're looking at strategizing as far as our pricing strategy and things like that. So those are important things to know. All right. So some key points when we get together to discuss the listing and sale of your home. Point number one is we want to talk through how to get your home sold for the highest price by actually attracting buyers to pay you more than what other homes are selling for in the area. We're going to talk through how to ensure that when that home does sell, that you personally net the most amount of money in your pocket, bottom line. And last, we're going to actually work together to make a mutual decision about whether or not it makes sense for my team and myself and you to actually work together on this process. This process is not a you hire me or I work for you. This is a partnership. We need to work together in order to get your home sold and accomplish those first two things: getting the highest price for your home and making sure you net the most amount of money in your pocket, bottom line. So that's going to be the general basis of our conversation when we do sit down and get together and talk through the actual process of listing and selling your home. And then we'll also talk about, as we dig into the numbers and the competitive market analysis, we'll also talk about the 3 times that your home actually has to sell throughout the process. The first and most obvious is that initial offer negotiation. When the buyer sees your home and they make an initial offer of terms on your property, there's a process and a way in which we can negotiate that to be sure that you are coming out as best as you can in that first round of negotiation. The next piece will be during the home inspection and due diligence. We're going to have to sell the buyer on our solutions to their findings during the inspection process. We're going to do everything we can to minimize any sort of out of pocket expense or anything like that for you on this process, and do everything we can to also keep that buyer moving forward with the purchase of your home. And then lastly, we're going to make sure that we sell your home to the appraiser. We want to make sure that when we've gotten that premium dollar for your home, that the appraiser can support our price so that the loan itself can actually be processed and closed. All right. So when we look at market factors, there's things we want to look at is within our control and not. Within your control, you do have things like the price. There's two things to consider with price. One is, at what price is it likely to sell and appraise at? That's an important number to know and understand. But secondly, we want to consider our pricing strategy from a marketing perspective. And we'll dig really deeply into this. There's some things with the way buyers are finding homes, and especially today, knowing what we know about how many buyers actually left, how often buyers actually left their home to go look at property. What was it that pulled them out of their house to go and look when so many things are available digitally now? We also have control, obviously, over the property condition. How is the home showing when buyers show up? Is the sink full of dishes, or is the kitchen kind of like, basically, you have to start looking at your home as a retail product. And we'll talk about some things you can do to kind of hack that and make it simpler. We're going to go room by room by room with you and make sure that the condition and the way your property presents is affords you the opportunity to get that maximum price for your home. Availability for showings is another big one. I've worked with sellers who basically couldn't allow many showings, throughout the week. I've worked with sellers who basically it was floodgates are open, come whenever you want. I can tell you that the more available your home is for showings, the higher the prices that you're going to get, because you're going to create competition for your home. And we'll talk about how to make that a more simple process for you. So we'll make sure that, you know, ideally, we want the home as available as possible. And at the same time, I want it to be a good experience for you and your family. And then the last thing within our control is whether or not we offer a home warranty. This is a really simple, easy step to take that allows you to remove any questions in the buyer's mind, as well as provide some peace of mind about the product that they are looking at. So things outside our control are going to be things like the competition. We can't control if somebody 2 doors down decides to put their house up, and they have maybe a relocation package that allows them to, kind of underprice their home, or there's things that we can't control about the competition. There's things that we can't control about the environment of the market, whether it's a buyer's market, a seller's market. None of that is within our control. That is all driven on things like interest rate, supply and demand, world, the state of the world. All those things are driving factors for whether or not we exist inside of a buyer's or seller's market, and they are outside of our control. The biggest thing that I talk to so many home sellers about is the timing of the perfect buyer walking through the door. While we're going to have a ton of data to interpret and analyze and figure out, when are we likely to see an offer on the property, um, that does not necessarily indicate the exact timing for when that perfect buyer is going to walk through the door. That's where we go back to the availability for showings. We really want to make the home as available as possible so we get a large sample size of buyers, which allows us to, in turn, um, create more opportunities for that perfect buyer to walk through the door. All right. So when you get into pricing your home, this graph is a great representation of exposure, right? So if you price your home, let's just say you decide, you know what, I want to price it 10 or 15% over the market value so I have quote unquote room to negotiate. Well, the problem with that becomes you're not getting the exposures. You can see here, you are severely cutting down the number of likely buyers to come through your door when you overprice your home like that. And B, homes are selling so close to their list price right now that when they are overpriced by higher percentages, people actually feel like it's likely a waste of time to go and look at it, just because the nature of the market is there's not a lot of room for negotiation. So that's a big deal. We want to make sure that we're pricing our home either at or just below market value in order to create massive levels of exposure. What I can tell you is when you price your home correctly and you get high levels of exposure, you're likely to see not just one good offer, but maybe two or three great ones that kind of feed off of each other and against each other to drive the price up. This is a good thing. This is where we're going to leverage the state of the market to create more equity for you. So that's a big deal. I think this graph does a great job of kind of outlining the psychological side of pricing your home. Now, again, going back to that price, we're going to look at not only the price at which it's likely to sell, but from that, we're going to consider, okay, what's the best way to market the home? So that's where we're going to work together to come up with a good listing price for you and know kind of what it looks like to negotiate to that price that it's likely to sell at. Okay, when we get into at this point, we're going to talk through when we're sitting down. I'm going to have a full market analysis. We're going to look specifically, most intensely at homes that have sold and closed. Obviously, there's homes that are on the market like yours that are going to be a good barometer for your competition to know what buyers are seeing that's available, but that doesn't tell us much about actual value. Same thing with under contracts, homes that have an existing contract on them, they're working toward that closing. That's also a good thing to know, but again, it doesn't tell us what the buyer and seller agreed to and what the appraiser was able to support. That's why we spend so much time looking very closely at the homes that have sold and closed recently that are most similar to yours and how yours compares to that. And that's going to give us a solid sense for the actual value that the buyer and seller agreed to, and in turn the appraiser was able to support. We're going to consider things like differences in square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, parking situations. Even on the solds, we'll also break it down and know, okay, this one paid, yes, they received a quote unquote full price offer, but if you look, they actually gave away about $4,000 in closing costs. So you have to pull that away from that full price offer to truly get an idea of what the home sold for. And that's the kind of information I dig into with you during this piece of our meeting when we start talking through the market analysis. As long as everything makes sense to you, we'll go through, and talk about our solutions. So there's a couple of different solutions that we offer. Obviously, there's our no risk retail listing program. That's what most of our clients go with, and that's going to include things like the 1-day listing guarantee. We've already touched base on that. There's our smart seller program. In essence, you are still able to sell this home yourself and actually only pay us 1% to manage the transaction for you. So even if we're out there marketing, we got our sign in the ground, we're doing our thing. If you and a colleague at work out a deal on your house that we weren't involved in the negotiation on, there's no reason for you to pay this full-blown commission. So what you do, hey Rob, great news. John from work is going to buy my house. He's going to pay me 300,000. He's getting a mortgage, blah, 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 whatever the case is. Great. No problem. Congratulations. Does John know I'm going to call him? We set up, we get all the contracts together for you. So everything's on the up and up. We monitor all the timelines. We make sure that from the time you get that accepted offer to the time you're taking your net equity check from the closing table, we keep everything in line and make sure that everybody's on point and I'm walking through this process in the right fashion. Just keeping everything above board on your transaction for a severely discounted 1%. We also have our communication guarantee. Again, you're going to hear from us every single week. If, very consistently, if you don't hear from us, fire us, plain and simple. There's also our flexible commission structure. This has been a really exciting piece to this no risk program. In essence, what you get is the 1% if you happen to sell the home on your own. We've already talked about that. In addition, while we're doing our marketing, and we truly do invest in the advertisement of your home, it's not just a place, and I'm going to show you some things here in a minute, but it's not just a matter of placing your home in the MLS and then, oh gosh, let's pray somebody brings us a buyer. We proactively reach out to the community, reach out to potential buyers, qualify them very diligently to make sure they are ready, willing, and able to buy your home. And if we happen to bring that buyer to the table from our marketing, you're only going to pay 3%. Worst case scenario is a 5% total commission if there's another agent involved. So it's a pretty, even at that, you're still a little less expensive. You want to visit NoRiskListingKY.com to see how that breaks down. I'll actually do a quick demo for you here during this video. So that is the basic elements of our no risk retail listing program. So what I want to do is show you real quick what I mean by marketing. So this is a sample marketing dashboard that we build out for every listing. And you can see here, you're going to have access to this. You're going to be able to go in and look at any of the print marketing we've designed. We attach all the print marketing. We put all your photos here. Any links, so you'll be able to go and say, okay, what does it look like on the MLS? What's it look like on Rob's website? What's it look like on Realtor.com or Trulia or Zillow, Redfin, any of these real popular search sites? You'll have a quick and easy access to your listing on those sites so that you can review those at any time. The biggest thing, and this is something I encourage you to ask any agent you're talking to about the possibility of marketing your home, ask them to see their actual marketing action checklist. Not many agents do this. We actually break it out by week. We know exactly what steps we're taking to actually proactively market your property to the public. We run a lot of paid advertising through social media, through Google. We leverage print media. We leverage our lender list. We do a lot of work to make sure that we are proactively marketing your property. And this is something, again, I would encourage you, if you're interviewing a real estate agent, ask them to see their breakdown, not just their launch. It's an easy thing. A lot of people will tell you, we're going to get photos done. We're going to get it in the MLS. It's going to syndicate, da, 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 da. It's what happens after that first week on the market, right? It's what are you consistently doing every week to make sure that you are actually proactively seeking the buyer for my home. That is, to me, a huge, huge deal. And I think it's something that not enough people have taken the time to build out and know what they're going to do. It's more or less I'm going to leverage the fact that it's a strong market and hope that it sells. That's the common answer. So that to me is a big deal. And while we're here, let me just show you No Risk Listing. So this is NoRiskListingKY.com. You can actually get started with the listing process right here without having to get going with us. So what you can do is you can come down here and see. So if I've got a $300,000 home or wherever, you can actually see the difference in our program versus the traditional agent. You'll be able to go in there. You can actually do a quick check on your home value, or reach out and let us know you're ready to talk. So that's just norisklistingky.com. Great website, no sign up required, something you can kind of play around with on there. So I just wanted to show you those couple of things before I get into our next piece here. So let's just go through this. Okay. So our no risk rapid sale and closing program. This is another, we've already touched on this, but basically if this program's right for you and your family, we're going to help you with all the paperwork and details necessary to close out the sale of your home to a cash buyer very quickly. Obviously, my team and I are and work with professional investors making fair market value offers on property, and we're ready to be of service to you and your family. So I just wanted to share that bit of info with you. And again, just like we talked about before, obviously we're going to close on the property in one of three ways. If this is the right program for you, we're going to keep it ourselves and resell it once we've made any repairs. We're going to keep it ourselves and put it into a rental inventory, or we may find it's a better fit for one of our investor partners, in which case they will step in and close in our place. So just a quick reminder of all of that. So that is in essence what I wanted to share with you. And I also wanted to say thank you. I sincerely appreciate you taking a few minutes to watch this video. I know your time is incredibly valuable, and I do hope and trust that you found at least some of this information helpful to some capacity. So thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day.